Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Beat the Book. As always, I'm one of your hosts on this show, MattyBets, joined by my partner in crime, the man, the myth, the legend, the living,
The
the legend,
legends.
the legend, the legend. Big Al Better. How you doing tonight, Big Al?
I'm good, Matt. I thought you were about to call me a lizard. I was like, yo, I don't believe in the whole lizard people hoax thing. I don't know if we need to delve into those waters. I'm doing great, Matt. We got Packers Seahawks on deck. Obviously, got the Packer, the old number 12 Aaron Rodgers jersey on. Very hyped for this game. If you guys have watched the other videos, you know we got tickets for this game. Me and a bunch of buddies and a couple family members were going to this game. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be epic. Sunday night football in Seattle. It's supposed to rain a little bit, but nothing we're not used to here in the Pacific Northwest. So I think it's going to be an epic game. The line set at 2.5. Packers are our favorites on the road. The over/under set at 46.5. Matt, what are your thoughts on this game, and what do you like as far as the leans and the spread and the over/under here?
Nicely put. I will say, like in this game, I think it's kind of a little bit of a mismatch where you have the Packers, in my opinion, which are a top tier team, going into Seattle. Like I get that the Packers are favored; they should be. It's only 2.5, which kind of makes sense. It's not like they're going to be 4-point favorites. Uh, I like the Packers to win this game. I do. I don't know if it's going to be by 3 points because, like we've seen the past couple weeks, Seahawks have actually kind of turned it on. They look like a good team. They look explosive. I mean, it doesn't really matter which running back they have in there. Charbonnet looked great last week. But I do just think the Packers are better. Jordan Love's a better quarterback than Geno. I mean, the run game, I'd say maybe Seattle has a little bit more of an edge, like when it comes to the run game with the running backs. But I mean, I like the passing attack from the Packers. We haven't really seen the passing attack from Seattle really explode. We know that the Packers can kind of just turn it on and score 40 points on anybody. We saw them go toe to toe with the Lions. I like the Packers here minus 2.5. I think they'll win by a field goal. And then I'm also on the over here. Like I said, Seattle, they've been playing better the last couple weeks. They should be able to score a lot of points on this Packers defense, especially because the strength of the Packers defense is the secondary. I like the Seahawks to be able to throw on them a little bit more than they have been on other teams. Or, sorry, not throw on them, but run on them a little bit more. And if Charbonnet is the guy back there, or Kenneth Walker might be back for this game, I'm not sure. But I just like the Seahawks to be able to run the ball a lot, keep it close. So I like the over there at 46.5.
Okay, I will say I am in lockstep with you. I have the Packers minus 2.5 also, and I do like the over here. Seattle's actually scored over 20 points in all but two of their games on the season. So if you think they have a floor of 20 and then the Packers are going to keep this game close or even win by 3, then you're already at 43 if that's how the game's going to end. And if you think the Packers are going to score a little more and the Seahawks keep up and score a little more, then this looks like an over game to me, even with a little bit of rain. Um, I will say just to two of your points. So if did you know that Josh Jacobs is the third best rusher in the league?
Or did you've told me obviously you're a Packer fan, and I get that.
Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs. So I don't know how you sit there and you can say sharp before all the Packer fans get on you. How you can say like it's pretty much the same between Charbonnet and Jacobs.
Isn't this
That's
Charbonnet's
not
last
right.
week? I'm pretty sure was Charbonnet's like first game
He had
starting.
100. No, he's had a couple games this year because Kenneth Walker's actually missed like 4 or 5 games on the season. But so
It was his
anyway,
breakout
there's
game
that,
though.
and then also Gino. Gino, you said like the Seahawks passing game isn't great. Gino's like second in the whole league, just behind Joe Burrow in passing yards on the season.
Okay, well,
So
passing yards aren't
they've been dealing the
touchdowns.
rock. No, but that's
And
you're
like I
saying their
said,
passing
and
game is
I said it's not going to be that great against this defense too. Like I leveraged it with the fact that the Packers defense, the strength there is the secondary. So against the secondary, I think they're going to have to rely on the run game. And if Kenneth Walker's back, and we also saw what Charbonnet did last week, if that's just a taste of how the rest of the season is going to go for him, I like the running attack here by Seattle. I don't think they're going to have to throw the ball a ton to be able to, keep it close with the Packers. That's what I was saying. And Geno Smith can lead the league in passing yards. That's fine. If you're not scoring touchdowns, it's not working. I'm not going to label you as a top passer in the league when all you're doing is throwing for yards. So that's my stand on it, where I say like Geno isn't as good as Jordan Love. It's the touchdown aspect. So there you go. Just to defend myself and my honor a little bit there before, you and all your Packer
no one's
buddies,
ripping
like,
on your honor.
rip
No
on
one's
me and
ripping on
attack
your
me and
honor.
act
Chill, chill,
like,
chill.
hey, you're terrible at this. Like, relax. I
I'm
have my
not. I wasn't even trying
reasons.
to say that. I was just trying to help get ahead of potential haters in the chat and making sure that I'm covering the other side of the situation. And so what I'm saying is Josh Jacobs has had a great year rushing. Charbonnet had a good week last week against Arizona, whose defense isn't that great, and so yeah, the Seattle's had a couple good weeks with running the ball, but overall their running game's kind of mid. And Gino, as far as passing yards, he deals the rock a lot. Whether that contributes to touchdowns or not, that's a different story. the Packers secondary, we're missing Jair again. He's missed like half the year. He's missed like 6 or 7 games. So it's going to be the patchwork of Keyshawn Nixon and Valentine and all these other guys. So I think Geno's going to actually have a pretty big game, and that further plays into our over. We've actually done a really good job, the Packers, in the last couple weeks against the run. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery didn't run all over us. Before that, you had Achane. He didn't run all over us. So, like, the Packers have been holding people under 100 yards rushing for the last couple games. So I don't see Seattle's run game being as effective. I think Geno will have to throw the ball if Seattle's going to win this game. So I think that also contributes to an over situation.
Well, we'll see. Obviously, we don't know all these things. These are just, the hypotheticals of how
We're,
we've seen the
we're,
season
we're
going.
predicting how we think it's going to go.
Exactly. And we know on Thursday night, I think every professional sports bettor out there probably got it wrong, where they thought, Niners Rams were going to be an electric game. It was one of the most boring games this year. So we'll see how the game goes. We don't know until we see it, but we're just giving you guys how we think that the game's going to go. So we'll see if Al's right. We'll see if I'm right. I mean, newsflash for you guys, I am right. Seahawks are going to have a lot of rushing yards in this game, but, that is what it is.
How many?
What, total
What's
rushing yards? Total rushing
What's
yards?
a lot? Over 100?
Total rushing? Or just for one back?
Yes.
Total rushing,
Yes,
over 150.
Okay.
Yeah, easily.
We'll make a side bet on that. You want to make a side bet on that?
We'll see. We'll talk about it later.
Next. Okay, you don't want to do it in front of the fine people.
Nah. Let's keep
right.
that.
Yeah,
we can talk about it in our next video.
Yeah.
I got enough bets to place right now before I make bets with you.
Okay.
And that's not even a bet that I would want to make, just because it's all random. But 4-pick parlays are next. Let's jump into those. What do you got for me?
Okay, so like it just said, Geno has been dealing the ball all season long, so I think he's going to continue that against our kind of banged up secondary. So I have Geno throw for 250 plus in this game. I think that he'll find DK for a bunch of yards, and I think Seattle can throw the ball. Then I got Jordan Love to throw for 2 touchdowns. He's been pretty consistent with this all year long. He's had a couple games where he didn't do it, and he's had a couple games where he threw 3 and 4. So I love Love here to throw 2 touchdowns. I got Christian Watson for 60-plus receiving yards. All 3 of the last 3 games, he's gone over this number. 2 of the last 3, he's gone over 100 yards receiving. So, like Watson here for 1 big play for 60-plus to take the top off, especially with Romeo Doubs coming back in this game to kind of take some pressure off of him. And then my final pick is DK Metcalf for 70-plus receiving yards. He's done this a bunch on the season. And with the beat-up secondary, I could see DK breaking off for a big run, get 40-50 on 1 catch, and then he just needs a couple first downs, and he's at 70. So that's what I like. It pays out plus 1,000 over on DraftKings.
Nice. I like that. I like the even number there. I don't mind that. Like we know, DK is the guy over there in Seattle. He's the big play guy normally. I mean, Jackson Smith's kind of taken over that role a little bit, where DK's kind of like he's still the deep threat, but it seems like Jackson Smith's the guy who's getting open a little bit more often. The 250 for Geno, like you were saying with the stats, I don't know if that's going to happen because I do think they're going to run the ball more. So I'm not on that with you, but the Love 2 touchdowns, of course.
Of course. That's been kind of a lock of the year.
Yeah, exactly.
When putting him in parlays.
Mm-hmm. I'll jump into mine. We got Jordan Love over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Pretty much the same bet as you. Obviously, I got a back year play on that. I'm right there with you. Next, we got Jaden Reed over 3.5 receptions. I think that's pretty easy. Like you said, Romeo Doubs is coming back, but Jaden Reed had 0 last week. He had no catches, no yards. I like Jaden Reed. Big bounce back game this week. 3.5 catches, I think that's fine. Give him 4 catches. I think they're gonna get him involved early and often. Next, we're going Tyler Lockett, 25-plus receiving yards. Such a low line. It's minus money for a reason, but I think Tyler Lockett in this game, I think they will throw the ball like they're gonna have to. Obviously, it's an NFL game, but I think Tyler Lockett will be the one guy that gets open. I think the Packers will be, hey, we got to lock down DK, we got to lock down Jackson Smith, and it'll be, Tyler Lockett. Kind of prime Tyler Lockett, I think, is what we'll get here. Flashback. And then we got Josh Jacobs, 80-plus rushing and receiving. Like you said, third best rusher in the league. I like him there for 80-plus rushing and receiving. And that pays out plus 775. So slightly lower than yours, but we like the picks there. They're all kind of, in my opinion, guaranteed for the most part.
I'm kind of regretting now not taking Josh Jacobs in mine.
Yeah, I mean, you had your big spiel about him being like the best running back in the league.
Well, no,
and then you didn't even
honestly,
bet on him.
last month he's been very consistent.
Mm-hmm.
But I already put it down on paper.
You already put it down.
I I gotta ride with it. But I love that. I love that pick. Lockett 25. That's one good catch. That's a mid range, third and long. He catches it, turns it upfield a little bit. I guess one fun fact. I guess the Packers could have drafted Jackson Smith and Jigba in that draft, and they decided to not, and they drafted a defensive player instead. So some people I was listening to were saying this could be like a JSN revenge game for like this is why you should have picked me
That
sort of situation.
could be. I thought about taking him for yards, but all of his numbers are inflated quite a bit just because he's had a great
Sure.
month, a great past 2, 3 games. So I'm gonna kind
Mm-hmm.
of just pump the brakes there and just wait. Like I said, I like the secondary in Green Bay, so I think that he'll get covered. I don't think he'll be as big of an issue as the book thinks that he's gonna be. So.
Okay.
But I like Tyler Lockett. He's sneaky. Hasn't had a great year. I mean,
Very sneaky.
hasn't had nearly a great year. 2 touchdowns. I mean, yeah, I don't really love it,
Mm-hmm.
but I like him this game just to kind of go back to being Tyler Lockett of old, where he's catching he gets a catch for 10 yards and just slides down to the ground so he doesn't get hit. So,
Absolutely.
hmm but next we got touchdown scores. You like touchdown scores?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I like my fair share of touchdown scores.
All right, I'll go first as I normally do with this. I do love touchdown scores. I like some juicy touchdown scores too. So let's get to those. First, we're going Jackson Smith and Jigba at plus 185. Like you said, revenge game for Jackson Smith. I don't think he's gonna have a ton of yards. Like he probably will, but like I said with his line, I'm not taking his line for yards, but I like him to get in the end zone. We do think it's gonna be a high scoring game. I think a lot of the stars in this game are gonna eat. He's sitting there at plus 185, which is just insane in my opinion because he's been on a tear. So we got him. Next, we're going Jaden Reed at plus 230. Like I said, he did nothing last week. So I really like him to get bounced back here in a big way 60, 70 yards, 5 catches, maybe even 6 catches. Get him a touchdown too while you're at it. Then we're going to go Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft's been a great tight end. He had about a month that he didn't do much of anything. Like he started the first 6, 7 weeks, pretty good tight end, and then just had like 3 or 4 weeks where he just did nothing. And it's like, does this guy even play for the Packers anymore? And then, last week we saw him again get into the end zone. So I like him to be back on track. Give him that. And he's actually sitting at plus 270. I thought about taking him as my reach play, but I was like, it's not juicy enough. So for the reach play, we're going with the guy that I already talked about a bunch. Don't really have to say anything else. We're going Tyler Lockett. He's sitting at plus 390. Like I said, only has 2 touchdowns on the year. I think this is a good week. Prime position, prime spot for him to get another one.
Okay. Okay. And I think Seattle's only had 2 primetime games on the season anyway.
Yeah, if you're not mistaken, but I don't have those
So if you
stats in
like
front of
lock it
me.
in the prime time situation, yeah, this would be the prime time for him to show up, show out, and have not. He doesn't even have to need a massive game. 30 yards and a touchdown would pay you quite a bit of money, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna keep mine simple like I always do. I just have three. I have DK Metcalf at plus 170. I think he's gonna go off. He should have like I've already got him for 70 yards. So if he's gonna get 70, I think he can find the end zone. I have not Justin Christian Watson at plus 185. He's the deep threat guy. He's the guy that takes the top off the defense. And then I have Romeo Dobbs coming back from his concussion protocol. He's missed the last 2 games. I got him at plus 245. Um, he had a game he missed for personal reasons earlier on in the year, came back, had a touchdown. So I like him to miss a couple games, come back, get a touchdown. And he is and has been the best route runner on the team. So whenever you get in the red zone and it gets close quarters, your route runners are the guys that can get open because you know where they're going to be, when they're going to be there. You time the break, all that stuff. So I like Dobbs to get in the end zone in this one.
I like that too, and he's boosted and at plus 245 because he hasn't played in a while. So I like the fact
Right.
that you're getting the juicy number there. You're getting the boosted odds just because he hasn't been proven yet in the past like month. So or I guess
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long he's been out. But
Right.
I like those picks a lot. Like we said, DK, he's the dog over there, and then Watson's the deep guy for the Packers too.
Yep.
I like those picks.
So we
We'll
take
see.
a deep shot. I mean, we tried to take a deep shot against Detroit on the first play of the game, and then Love got sacked.
hmm
And I know he was looking for Watson or Reed on a deep shot. So I don't know if we're going to open the game the same way on this one, but Love likes to go for those home run balls. And Watson's the guy that if he gets you off the line, he's gone. And if you don't have safety help, and even if you have safety help, Jordan Love's still just going to throw it to him. So you just need Watson to beat a guy one time, and he's gone for a touchdown. So
Yeah, well, we'll see how that goes. Let us know in the comments what you guys think, and if you're big Seattle guys and you're like, hey, you guys are underestimating Seattle. Hey, maybe that's the case. Let us know in the comments. We don't think so. Like, and like the books think too. I mean, there's a reason the Packers are favored in this game on the road in Seattle. So just two different caliber teams. But that's all we got for you guys. Thanks so much for watching the video. As always, protect the bag, beat the book, bet smart. Don't spend all your money on one bet. I've done it a couple times. Well, not all my money, but I've done it a couple times. Just immature betting. Let's stay responsible. Let's be mature about this, and let's enjoy Sunday and Sunday night football.
Absolutely. Go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go.